Howdy folks, Tex Grebner here with Tex Grebner Outdoors. Just got done fletching up a whole new dozen arrows. But I figured while I was building one, I might as well turn the camera on and let you guys have a look at how I build my arrows in case you're curious. Fletching arrows is potentially the most boring and tedious task that you can undertake. However, first things first, I prefer using bonding fletch tape. You take your feather and you place the sticky side onto the feather. Press it down. Cut it to length. This one is going to be the cock feather. The reason that it is called a cock feather is because it is normally the brightly colored feather that might come from a rooster's wing. These will be the hen feather colors. So again, we are taking the fletch tape, pressing the sticky side onto our feather, cutting to measure or measuring to cut, and we're going to press it down along the feather, and we're going to set that to set up. Now our second hen feather, and you guessed it, we're going to take the fletch tape and run it all the way down the feather and press it along the bottom. Now we're done with the fletch tape. So now that this one has set up, we're ready to start fletching. You can see a mark here. That gives me finger clearance back here. So now comes the pain in the ass tedious part, where you have to separate the adhering side from the smooth outer side. And it is a fucking pain in the ass. Come on. This is a lot less messy than fletching glue. And it sets up a lot faster. But to be honest, sometimes you wonder if it's worth it. There we go. Now we're just going to take our fletching jig and put it together. Give it a good press. Because we are not using glue, we don't have to give this too much time to set up. I will normally run my thumbnail down the feather to ensure that the tape is adhered. Now we're going to rotate till we hear a good positive solid click. Put our other feather into our jig. And now start fighting the fletch tape. There I have it. Make sure that you have your arrow or your feather lined up. Put it on the magnet. Press it down good and hard. And there we have a hen feather. Now we rotate again. Put another hen feather into our jig. Line it up with the black mark as best I can. And now fight the fletch tape again. There we go. Pull that off. Set the feather. Remove our jig. And now we only need to give this arrow a good 12 hours to fully set. You can also take fletch-tite from bonding and put it on the front and back of the feather to ensure that you've got a good positive seating. So now it's time to put the insert into our arrow. So a good idea to clean this out with alcohol, maybe sand it up. This is just your standard aluminum insert. I've got some brass ones for some forward of center weight for my compound arrows. But we're just going to take the fletch-tite, run a little bead of this around. And slide it up inside, making sure that the whole inside of the shaft gets coated. Now, give it a tap on a firm surface to seat it. Wipe off the extra glue and let that cure up. And now we have a fully built arrow. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. I spared you the other 11. Because it's pretty mind-numbingly boring fletching up a dozen arrows. But I can get into greater detail in later videos if you guys are actually interested in the technique a little bit more. But, as always, God bless all my sportsmen of America. Join the NRA to protect our rights. Please check out my friends over at legallyconcealed.org. Thank you very much to those of you involved in law enforcement and those of you serving in the military. And thanks for watching Tex Grebner Outdoors.